Hey, man, you're listening to the Hellion Rocks. You know, a while back ago, we heard of this kick-ass brand new band called Kill Devil Hill, and I actually got to spoke with Dewey Bragg about it. Well, we got him back on. He's got a new old project called Moth. Dewey, what's happening, man?
Not much, brother. How you been doing?
Trying to spread the word that radio stations won't spread the word about underground bands, new old bands, people that are out there making music from the heart. They're not getting the corporate sponsorship that they deserve. So we bring it to you right here on the Hellion Rocks.
Thank God for people like you, man. That's for sure. It's too bad those radio stations don't get involved a little more.
That's it. But you know what? We don't need them. Rock and roll started out as an underground thing. We've taken it back, and we threw away all the rules, and we're making and listening to the music that we want to hear and love.
Absolutely. I'm with you on that one.
So, big news, man. The buzz is all about Moth. I know because I talked to you before about it. It's a long-lived project, but now it's coming to the light of a lot of people. Let's talk, man. Jump into it.
Yeah, Moth is actually been around since 2002. Joe Puccio is the co-founder of Moth, and he started Moth, and I was introduced to him by a good friend of mine, Donovan Corrales, a long time back, and I wanted to play drums on the project because I've always played drums. I started out playing drums, and when I heard the music, I was like, dude, I got to play drums with this band. I love it, So I started playing drums with Moth, and then we kind of separated for a little bit, and Joe and I got back together, and he's like, man, I want you to sing for Moth. And I was like, all right, yeah, let's do it. So, we just started. We've always wrote and recorded. Joe and I are the main writers of the band. And we just, every, few months we'll get together and we'll put a song together. And then Joe will come to me with some ideas, and then I'll put some vocals on it, and that'll happen sporadically throughout the year, throughout the years. And just recently, Kill Devil Hill's taking a little break, so I decided to get with Joe and say, man, let's get a little more serious with this thing. Let's try to put an EP together and maybe get it out to the public and see what sticks. So we thought we would put some stuff together, and we just finished a new single called State of Your Wings, which just came out today, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I love it. So make sure you check it out.
You already checked it out. That's awesome. So you need to go, people. You got to go to mothsounds.com and click on the link there for SoundCloud. And there's like 6 or 7 songs that we did with Warren Riker. And basically that's what we're doing right now. We're getting a bunch of merch together. We're just trying to get a bunch of stuff together to put this thing out, and see if the people like it, and it keeps me busy while Kill Devil Hill's, all for the holidays. And
right.
And honestly, it's just it's another outlet for me to have, as far as music's concerned.
Well, really I've noticed a trend that a lot of bands now, or a lot of musicians are doing these side and one-off projects, and it's more from the heart rather than trying to make it a commercial success. And the music itself is gaining that feel that we used to have back in the day when bands were making music for art. And I, for one, am totally stoked to hear music like that. I've listened to all the tracks that were on SoundCloud, and I recommend all you people listening, stop what you're doing, go to the SoundCloud with Moth Music, check it out. Every one of those tracks is killer. I'm just saying. Yes,
thank you very much. It's Moth. Yeah, you can check it out on Facebook. It's Moth Sounds at Facebook, or mothsounds.com. We have all the songs up. You can stream them. Womanizer, Cobra's Bite, Alarma, Aim, State of Your Wings. We got a show coming up January 24th at the Viper Room, which is NAMM weekend. So if you if you guys want to come check out that show, bring your NAMM badge, and if you want to get on the discount ticket list, you can email us on our website or on Facebook, and we can get you on the cheap ticket list. So, yeah, man, we're stoked. We're excited. This is actually, the funny thing is this is our very first show that we have ever played. We've never played a live show, which is actually funny. We've been jammed together since 2002, and Joe has actually been doing this since before we met, and you know, we're all cracking up, you know, laughing because we've been, you know, Joe and I write and record all the time, like I was saying earlier, and we have a ton of material that's going to come out. But I think what we're going to do is we're just going to do EPs, like, you know, 6 to 8 songs, throw them out. Then later on down the road, we'll do like 6 or 7 more, throw those out. But it's definitely cool, man. You know, I like it because Joe and I work really, really, really good together. We're good. We're also really good friends, you know. And the music's all natural. It's organic. It's not forced. It's not something that we think about. It just comes to us. And I think that's what the people like, man. You know, it's not something like a lot of bands that you hear nowadays. It's just, it sounds the same. It's, you know, that's getting old to me, man. I want to hear some Bad Company or some Sabbath or some Leonard Skinner. You know what I mean? Some real to the heart music.
Right.
A lot of that's been lost, man.
Yep. And you're right. Guys used to sit down and talk about shit that happened in their lives. And, you know, that was for a jam session. And out of that, we got some great, great songs. And I get that vibe listening to your guys' music. You're right. It doesn't sound forced. It's got a nice killer groove to it. And without sounding, again, this is what's really cool about Moth, without sounding like, you know, another band, you can hear the influences in the band, but there's no rip-off or copy or imitation. It's definitely an individual sound from Moth, but yet homage to those other bands.
Absolutely. I mean, we're all, obviously, I mean, I'm sure everyone listening, we're all huge Black Sabbath fans, you know.
Absolutely.
And I think I hear a little bit of that in our music. I hear a little bit of everything, man. You know, we're not really trying to pinpoint one thing, okay, we got to sound like this band because they're hot right now. It's like, no, forget all that, man. We just want to play music that we like and that we think other people may like, but mainly we do it for ourselves. And, you know, and like I've said 1,000 times before, if it wasn't for the fans, if it wasn't for the friends, and if it wasn't for the family, none of this could be possible. So we appreciate people like you and the people listening that support music, because that's a very important thing.
That's humbling. It's great to hear. Thank you for saying that. Oh, before I forget, though, Adam Jode from Scattered Hamlet said to say, "What's up?"
Who is that again?
Adam Jode from Scattered Hamlet.
Oh, tell him I said hello. Tell him
I will.
What's up, brother?
There you go, Adam. I got you in there. Getting back to the EP, are we going to have a physical copy, or are you guys just going to do electronic music? What's the plan for the EPs?
Well, you know, being the neurotic freak that I am when it comes to vocals, I'm very particular. Those songs were recorded, except State of Your Wings was just recorded a couple of weeks ago. Those other songs recorded a couple of years ago. So I want to get back in there and retrack those vocals, something bad, because I've grown much. You know, I've gotten a lot better, I think, but they're not wanting me to do it. Warren's fighting me, and so is Joe, and I'm like, maybe I should leave it. But I think what we're going to do is we are going to put some sort of physical EP out. Well, we're actually trying to figure that out right now. So that's, as of right now, we're getting some merch made. We're talking about getting the EP, but there should be a physical EP for sure, in some time in the future. Definitely.
I know there's a lot of geeks out there like myself that downloading music's really good, but I'm a purist. I like vinyl still, and I like to have a physical copy in my hands and read the liner notes and shit like that. I know there's a lot of people like that still.
It's too bad there's not many more, because a lot of that's been lost, unfortunately. But that's just the way. That's just the way that music has turned, unfortunately. But I'm guilty of it too. It's just easier to download a song, and when I say download, I mean purchase it.
Absolutely.
Rather than have to go.
You know,
but there are bands that, like, I will go and buy the record because I want to check out the liner notes too. There's some bands that I'll still do that with, because I think that's cool.
absolutely.
But we're all, us Americans have gotten lazy, man. We'd rather just sit inside and stay on the computer. God knows I'm
Damn it, bro. Yeah, it's true. I've been talking to a lot of friends about like that, I think that's part of the problem with getting people out in the clubs is they can sit around and watch it on YouTube, instead of going out. But you know what? They lose the magic. You lose that camaraderie.
Yeah. Well, and you always have this one person, and let me just say this real quick to everybody out there. When you are filming a band with your cell phone, don't stand in front of the speaker, for God's sakes. Stand somewhere where you know it's going to sound good. Not in the very front row or in front of the PA or in the back by the bar where everybody's talking. It cracks me up. Stand in front of the soundboard. That's the best place to stand. Just thought I'd help.
Yeah, that's a true statement. That's one of the things that bothers the shit out of me is, I am a photographer. I do get photo access to shows. I shoot my 3 songs, and then I put all my shit away and watch the show.
Right.
I don't watch it through the back of my phone. You know what I mean? So people, I'll call them out. Put your damn phones down and enjoy the music. Leave it to the pros. Let the pros put the videos up and shit like that.
Right. And it's funny because you're always, sometimes you go surfing and you find this. You're like, oh, let's check this out. It's just like, oh, Jesus. Because you can never really, half the time you can't even understand what's going on when somebody films it with their phone, but it still cracks me up.
Anyway, I digress. So, there's a lot of names buzzing around working with Moth. Care to divulge on any of those?
God, where do I start? We got a long list. Well, let me start with Joe Puccio, the founder, and my brother, co-writer, him and I. Joe Puccio plays bass for Moth. Dan Gordy plays drums. Gary Glasson is our guitar player. P.J. McMullen has played drums on some Moth tracks. Warren Riker has produced and engineered all the You just can't stop him, Warren Riker. That's what we call him.
No, man.
Yeah, and then there's so many names. There's a few names that I can't really remember at this point because there's so many people that have come in and out of Moth that, those are the people that, that matter at this point right now. I'm sure there's a couple that I probably forgotten. If I did, I apologize. But
it sounds like the project's bigger than the sum of its parts. It's actually growing.
Wait a minute, I almost forgot. Vinny Appice played drums. He actually played drums on Womanizer.
Nice.
So, if you're wondering that cool Sabbath groove at the end of Womanizer, that's Vinny Appice, that whole song. He jammed with us. He did the song. Who else is? There's been a few, and there's probably going to be many, many more. We like to have guest appearances and have people jam because it's a fun thing. It's a band of brothers, man. It's not like we're all married to each other. And if you go jam with some other band, we're going to get our feelings hurt. It's not like that. It's about music, man.
That's incredible to hear. Especially in this day and age where everybody's running around divided and living their own lives separate from everybody. We need to get our brotherhood back. Talk to people face to face. Give your bro a big hug, man. That's what we need to do. We need to unify ourselves as people.
Life is entirely too short to hold grudges, and life is entirely too short to be pissed off at someone for something that really, in the end, doesn't matter. It's about loving each other and taking care of each other and being there for each other. That's what it's all about.
That's so true. That's one of the things that over here at the Hellion Rocks that we try to stay away from the negativity and we try to promote. We need more people getting together and pulling ourselves as a rock and roll community back together than trying to tear it apart.
Well, the Hellion Rocks is definitely holding up their part of the bargain when it comes to that. That's for sure. You guys are always at every Kill Devil Hill show. You're always out supporting, and I appreciate you checking up on the Moth and doing this interview and putting it out there for us. And that means a lot to us, and we appreciate all your help, brother. Because without you, well, we need people like you. We need more people like you, and there's a lot of people out there like you. So we appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, we've been talking with Dewey Bragg from Kill Devil Hill and Moth. Speaking personally, this band is a breath of fresh air. There's so much music out there that gets lost, and then there's some that just hit you like a ton of bricks. And that's the music of Moth right now. It's something that definitely, if you're a fan of that heavy rock, dig it, check it out. Dewey, what do you got to say to the world, man?
The Hellion rocks, and so does Moth.
That's it. Well, we're going to close it out now. This is the Hellion from the Hellion Rocks, Dewey from Kill Devil Hill and Moth. Thanks for listening. 140 countries strong around the world. We're keeping it with you. We're out.